the Fourth and Long Fantasy Football Show.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Fourth and Long Fantasy Football Show. My name is Justin. Episode 56 today. Week 7 is come and gone, and we're on to Week 8. On today's episode, I'll give you a few of my Week 7 reactions, and then go over my waiver wire targets and my starts of the week for Week 8. Now, as a reminder, I'll be releasing my weekly episodes throughout the season on Thursday mornings, getting you prepared with my weekly recaps, waiver wire ads, and starts of the week. Your time is valuable, so let's get to it.
On today's show...
All right, so for today's show, I'm going to start by giving you a couple quick reactions to Week 7. The first being Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver 1. What a sensational start to the career for rookie wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase. Now, I thought Chase would be good, but I didn't think we'd be staring at Ja'Marr Chase squarely in the top 5 wide receivers already. The chemistry between Chase and his quarterback Joe Burrow is evident, and he needs to be talked about as the favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year already. And in dynasty circles, Ja'Marr Chase needs to be mentioned in the same breath as Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, and Justin Jefferson. What a start to the rookie season for the young wideout. Next, Indianapolis Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman's emergence. The Colts' second-year big body wideout is enjoying a really great sophomore season, and I liked Pittman a lot coming out of USC last season. He reminds me a lot of Mike Evans, and the rapport he shares with Carson Wentz in Indianapolis is encouraging for his longer-term outlook. And if Wentz is the answer at the quarterback position here in Indy, you have to like that if you're a Pittman owner. As we sit here today, Pittman projects for 80 catches and almost 1,200 receiving yards. And in Week 7, I especially liked his ability to high point his touchdown catch late, rotate his body, and then add the awareness to get into the end zone. He's talented and should be considered a wide receiver 2 rest of the season. And then finally, Khalil Herbert's impressive run. Rookie running back Khalil Herbert has been a bright spot for an otherwise cloudy outlook for the Chicago Bears this season. And as we know in fantasy football, opportunity is king, and Khalil Herbert has harnessed his opportunity he's been given. The injury to David Montgomery and the subsequent COVID-19 fallout from Damian Williams has vaulted Herbert into the starting running back conversation. Herbert has looked really good too, and in Week 7 against the Bucs, Khalil Herbert became just the third running back to rush for 100 yards against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since the end of the 2018 season. The question becomes, though, what is Herbert's role when both Montgomery and Williams are healthy in this Chicago backfield? Now, there's no denying the situation will change when those other backs are healthy, but I think Herbert has earned a role in this offense, and with Justin Fields' inefficiency passing the ball, I could really see the Bears continuing to rely heavily on their run game, and I think there's going to be 10 to 12 touches for Herbert in this backfield, and he should continue to provide his managers with value throughout the rest of the season. All right, next let me get into my waiver wire ads for Week 8, but before I get there, my ads for last week included Rashad Bateman, Rashad Penny, and J.D. McKissic. I'm going to get my Week 8 waiver wire list started with a running back, and it's going to be Philadelphia Eagles running back Kenneth Gainwell. The injury to Miles Sanders has vaulted Kenneth Gainwell to the top of all waiver wire lists for Week 8. After Miles Sanders exited Week 7, it was Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott who split time in this Eagles backfield. And I think given Gainwell's proficiency as a pass catcher and the fact that he was already providing flex value before Sanders' injury leads me to prioritize him if I can get him. He should be considered a back-end running back 2 for Week 8 with upside for more in PPR leagues. Next, I'm going to go with a tight end, and it's going to be Green Bay Packers tight end Robert Tonyan. Tonyan came to life in Week 7, scoring as many fantasy points as he had all season. Week 8 brings a Thursday night matchup against the high-powered and undefeated Cardinals. Devontae Adams is unlikely to play, and Allen Lazard has already been ruled out due to COVID-19. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to throw to somebody, especially in the red zone. Give me Robert Tonyan as a top 10 option at the tight end position in Week 8 with upside for more. And then finally, my last waiver wire ad for Week 8 is going to be a wide receiver, and it's going to be New York Giants wide receiver Darius Slayton. It's slim pickings on the waiver wire as we sit here in Week 8, but I'm going to say Darius Slayton is worth a speculative ad given the current landscape of the Giants wide receiver room and the pending matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs' leaky defense here in Week 8. Slayton's return in Week 7 resulted in the wideout seeing 9 targets and catching 5 for 63 yards. I'm not saying to start Slayton this week, but add him with the possibility that he carves out a meaningful role as the other Giants wide receivers get healthy here. All right, next let me move into my starts of the week. Last week I had quarterback Matt Ryan, running back Darrell Henderson, and wide receiver A.J. Brown. My Week 8 list is going to get started with a quarterback, and it's going to be Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. It hasn't been pretty for Patrick Mahomes this season, but I believe in the talent too much to fade him. You look at his interceptions he's had this year, and half of them really haven't been his fault. You look at tip balls and drop passes by his skill players, those are really to blame here, guys. Week 8 brings a primetime matchup against the Giants on Monday Night Football. Mahomes is too damn good to stay down, and I expect a get-right game from the superstar quarterback. My next start of the week is going to be a running back, and it's going to be Detroit Lions running back Deandre Swift. Deandre Swift was the lone bright spot for the Detroit Lions in Week 7, as they really held their own against the LA Rams. Swift has started to pull away from running mate Jamal Williams in this backfield, and the affinity for Jared Goff to check the ball down led to 10 targets for Swift in Week 7. Swift is a top 5 running back in PPR, and I'm starting with confidence in Week 8. And then finally, my last start of the week for Week 8 is going to be a wide receiver, and I'm going to go with San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Debo Samuel. The breakout season is on for the third-year San Francisco wide receiver. Through Week 7, Samuel sits at nearly 650 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns, and that's with a bye week already sprinkled in there. Samuel is Garoppolo's favorite target, and he gets the Chicago Bears in Week 8, who have given up big games to opposing wideouts all season. I'm starting Samuel with confidence.
So that'll do it. Please remember to comment and like on this video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. This has been the 4th and Long Fantasy Football Show. Good luck this week, everybody. See you next week.
Royalty-free music courtesy of Ben Sound. The views and opinions expressed on today's episode are that of the 4th and Long Fantasy Football Show. Remember to like and subscribe.